Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another DMU live stream. This one is all about postgraduate study in economics at DMU. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are watching, please leave us a comment, say hi. We'd love to hear from you. My name's Georgia. I'll be your host today, and I work in the Faculty of Business and Law. I'm joined by a academic colleagues, senior lecturer in economics, Tuan Luong, and also one of our wonderful graduates, Zainas. So if you are watching and you do have any questions, please let us know. We've got two people here that are perfect to answer any questions you may have. So Tuan, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
My name is Tuan Luong, and I'm the senior lecturer at the Montfort University. I received my PhD in economics from Princeton University, one of the top 5 economic programs in the world. Before joining DMU 4 years ago, I had been an assistant professor at Shanghai University of Finance and Economics, and I'm also a fellow of the higher academic education. So thank you for joining our live stream, and I'll be here to answer all of your questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Zainas, if you'd like to introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, hi, I'm Zainas Azuma, and I was a recent graduate with the Business Economics and Business Finance program. I graduated in January of this year, and since then I've gone on to pursue a PhD in economics at the Montfort University as well. So I have experience here, and I'm willing to share that with you. Yeah.
Perfect. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to speak a little bit about the courses, the economics courses that we offer at a postgraduate level. We're also going to get, because we have a student here, it'd be rude not to hear about what their experience was like. And then we're also going to talk about what we are looking forward to in the future and how the economics courses are going to be sort of taught going from September. So for now, let's say goodbye to Zainas, and we will bring you back a little bit later. So Tuan, you mentioned it a moment ago, and I think it's very interesting to hear about sort of where our academics, what their stories were before they joined DMU. So could you tell us a little bit more about your academic journey?
Yes, so I received my PhD in 2009. And then after that, I joined Shanghai University of Finance and Economics. I've been there for 6 years. I was teaching international economics. And then in 2016, I decided to move to DMU and became a senior lecturer. And then 2 years later, I became the program leader. And I really enjoy being at DMU because the colleagues here are very friendly, and they're always available to help. And also I am the fellow of the Higher Education Academy, and I really learn a lot, and I can see there's some big difference between teaching in Asia and teaching in the UK, and I gain a lot of experience from being in 2 different continents, and I also enjoy working with students from all over the world. Yeah, so basically that is my experience.
Thank you very much. And thank you for giving us a little bit of an insight as to who you are. So as we say, we're going to be here for probably about the next 30 minutes, just talking about the different courses. So I think that's probably a good place to go on to next, is the fact that just a bit of an introduction to the economics suite that you are the program leader for. So if you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit more about these courses.
Yes, so the MSc Economics program is a very popular program in the Department of Economics and Marketing. In this program, you will acquire deep understanding of the economic system and how it works. In particular, we'll give you the 2 main modules in economics, namely microeconomics and macroeconomics. In the first module, you will learn how the Asians compete and cooperate. Example would be Samsung and Apple. So on the one hand, the 2 companies compete on the market of electronic devices such as smartphones. But on the other hand, Samsung is the main chip provider of Apple. So it's a very interesting story about how the 2 can, on the one hand, compete, and on the other hand, cooperate. In the second module, namely the macroeconomics, you will learn how the economy works. In particular, how to calculate GDP, how to understand economic growth, where unemployment and inflation come from. You will also learn how the government governs the economy by using the fiscal and monetary policy to achieve their objectives and to stabilize the economy. This is particularly important during this time when the UK is entering the so-called double shocks, Brexit and the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition to the two main modules that I have just mentioned, you will have the opportunity to learn the applied modules such as the emerging markets and the theory of international trade. This is important because we live in a globalized world, and it is very important to understand the interconnection of the economies, which will help us to make economic decisions. Beside the core module, you will have the choice to go to 4 directions that suit your professional needs, namely finance, marketing, international relations, and risk management. You will have the opportunity to work with our leading experts, and you will also be encouraged to take part in our weekly research seminars. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think one of the quite interesting elements that you sort of mentioned is the fact that there's these 4 opportunities to really specialize into an area as well. So you mentioned that you can do it in finance, which obviously we have a student that graduated in that, so he will tell you a little bit more about that course. Risk management, marketing, and international relations. So can you just tell us a little bit more about sort of the different modules that you will study if you went onto one of these programs and how it differs between the 4 of them, sorry?
Yeah, so in finance, you will learn how to apply economic understanding in the financial market. For example, you can see how the companies in the stock market, they can acquire the macroeconomics news and then use that to predict the stock market prices. For marketing, again, you also can combine the marketing theories and economic theories. For example, for a firm who want to provide a new brand to the customers, they will understand that they have to understand that on the one hand, the new brand can bring them a new stream of revenues, but on the other hand, the new brand can compete with the old brands, and how you can make a trade-off between these two, own brand and the new brands. Similarly, for international relations, again, countries can, on the one hand, compete on the trading market, but on the other hand, they also need to cooperate on international issues like peacekeeping, etc. So again, it's very interesting to combine theories of economics and theories of international relations. And finally, for risk management, same thing. Like last year, I had a student who did a thesis on the small farm in the UK, and they can produce wind energies, which is very exciting. The problem for them is that they cannot store wind energy, so they have to manage the risk of storing too much, and the cost will be enormous, versus storing not enough and cannot meet the demand of the market. Because they are small farms, they don't have enough capitals to invest on enormous factories. So they need to find a way to predict the market. And how to predict the market, they need to understand the economy. Like, for example, that nowadays the government promotes more green energies, and therefore they can use some government grants to help them to invest on storing the green energy that they produce. So you can see that. Yes, the four directions that we just mentioned, finance, marketing, international relations, and risk management, can be combined with economics to enrich your understanding and hopefully can help you to make better decisions in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it is that thing as well as having not only economics behind you and being able to make those financial decisions and have the applied skills, you also then have a whole different sort of avenue that you could go down in the fact of marketing or international relations, and it does make you a very versatile student. If you would like to find out more information about the courses, I've just popped a little banner. I feel like I'm on the news every time I do this, and you can find out more about the postgraduate economics courses. So for now, what I'd like to do is I think it's only right that we bring our student back to just tell us a little bit more about what their experience was like at DMU, and we shall say goodbye to our academic for the second, just because you've been speaking for quite a while, so just have a little break. Thank you very much for joining us today. So as you mentioned, you graduated in January. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about, sort of, to start off with, why did you pick this course?
Because there was a subject area I had much interest in, and I was considering pursuing a career in that field. And I just found the issue of economics and the subject of economics and finance has a huge importance to the world, and trying to understand that and pursuing a career path in that was something I really, really wanted to pursue. Yeah.
So to start off with, you you obviously did your undergraduate degree, and then what was it you did your undergraduate degree in?
Fascinating that, because I did my undergrad degree in accounting.
Oh, okay.
So it was a different shift to economics. I did do a few economics modules, but to start with. But then I just shifted into the master's degree in economics and finance. I had much more background in finance in comparison to economics, but I decided why don't I just try it, give it a go, see how it. Yeah.
So for you, and it's one of the things that we hear from students all the time, is the difference for sort of doing a bachelor's degree to doing a master's degree. How did you find that transition into studying your master's?
I found it quite it was difficult and easy at the same time. Let me explain. Moving into a master's degree, it's much more you need more time. You need to take more time into pursuing that goal, and in trying to get the assignments done, and trying to get your source materials right, because it's more time investing than normally a normal undergraduate degree. Because for an undergraduate degree, you're mostly everything is taught. You're introduced as that you're new to it. You're being taught everything. With a postgrad degree, you are fairly new to it. They make sure the materials are available to you. The teachers are there to give you guidance. They give you lectures and provide a general and broad information about what is going on. But you as a student as well, you need to do your research. You need to look into current topics, stay on top of everything, top of every information. Make sure you attend the lectures. Make sure you're always on hand with your assignments and everything. So those are similar things you need to in your undergrad degree to pass it. But when it comes to your master's, it's more hands-on, because if you don't dedicate the time to it, you might not pass very well. So that is the main and core difference, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely more on yourself, isn't it, during a master's? And I know a lot of students do feel like that. So you've started your master's. Please tell us a little bit more about how you found that. What we're going to do is a little bit later, we're going to touch on how everything changed the start of this year. But up until that point, can you tell us a little bit how your lectures were and your seminars?
Yeah, so basically my lectures was had about I was in about 4 days of the week, and so it gave you time to manage things around it. But going to lectures is the teachers are there, and they from the get-go they make sure it's very clear to you that they're there for you and they're there to help you, and that even as they say that, you get a feeling that is true, and that's what they're there to offer you. When they teach you, when things are being taught, they make sure you understand it, and they clarify. They use real world, a lot of real life experiences and real life examples to make sure you completely understand it. So I really enjoyed going to lectures, and whenever I missed the lecture, I felt like I've lost a lot. But it was very the university has a system online where lectures and stuff stuff available to you online. So in case you miss a lecture, everything is available to you. But I always made an effort to attend the lectures because I found a lot of, I found it very useful, a lot of information because of the environmental interaction you can have with the lecturer and with your colleagues as well. And the discussions you have in class is very mind opening. And that was very nice to delve into. Yeah.
So it seems like the collaborative learning and all of that was something that really helped you. Was there any other elements to either your master's experience or the course that were like your favorite?
Yeah, it was normally it came in the seminars, because that is where it's more of an interactive session, and you get to brainstorm a lot, and I found that very interesting because not only did I surprise myself with some of the things I came up with, but it's interesting to hear the perspective of different people, and it's like I think through that through the information you get from the normal lecture and applying that to the seminars, it opens your mind a bit more. It's more of like a growth. That's where the growth stage happens, and you know that you're actually learning something because you can then apply it. And I just enjoy that experience. Enjoy knowing that, oh, I actually know more. I actually understand this. I actually get it. I finally get it. It's so that light bulb thing that goes up in your brain, and that's one of much stuff. And the friends you make as well. So like, yeah, that was really nice. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Perfect. If you are watching and you do have any questions about the student experience, about what it's like to be a postgraduate student at DMU, or anything to do, please drop them in the comments and we'll get those answered for you. For now, I'd like to say thank you very much. And then what we're going to talk about now, I will bring back our lovely academic. It's like magic. My hands are up here. I'm not doing anything. It's perfect. And we'll say goodbye to our student for the second. He will be coming back very shortly. Now, I think something that is very important to speak about is the fact that we are living in an extraordinary year that has affected all our lives and plans. And we completely understand what a significant year this is for you, because it is for us too. If you're planning to start or continue your higher education journey in 2020, we want you to know that DMU is here for you every step of the way. Your DMU future is our way of connecting safe campus living, quality teaching, one-to-one time with our academics, and a great student experience, all within our diverse, inclusive, and welcoming DMU community. We're committed to ensure you all get the extra help you may need with your life, work, and study. So we will be talking to our student very shortly about their experience of what it was like with online teaching. But I think it's important just to give our academic the chance to just explain what postgraduate economics courses are going to look like in the future.
Yes. So there are a couple of points that make this year different from the previous years. So first, I'm very excited to tell you that we have been working closely with the Association to Advance Collegiate School of Business, AACSB, for the past 2 years towards their accreditations. In line with their requirement, we incorporate a number of skills that will make you more employable. So, for example, in addition to the conventional objectives such as communication skills, creative thinking, or innovative ideas, we will also assess if you have an understanding of the real-world problems and solutions, or an awareness of the social and environmental responsibility of your business. So that is very important because that can give you an edge in the labor market. Second, our teaching staff are working with a number of supporting organizations such as the Economic Network to provide you a wide range of innovative teaching activities so that your learning experience will not be compromised. And finally, following the success of the past 2 years, we offer you a wide range of workshops to develop your practical skills. For instance, our Center for Learning and Study Support will give you a number of workshops and one-to-one tutoring to improve your presentation and writing skills. Our librarian will give you tips to look for the plentiful resources that we have here. And you also learn how to program, for example, MATLAB, R, Stata. And finally, you have the chance to work in our state-of-the-art Bloomberg trading room. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So what I'd like to do now is just bring back our student and say goodbye again to our academic. There we go. So earlier in the year, we all had to quickly adapt to online teaching and learning. So I'd just like to hear from you. And I've just got a few questions about online learning and the experience, if you don't mind me asking you them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Perfect. So what has your experience of online learning been at DMU?
Well, to start with, I wasn't sure how the everything was gonna like turn out, but to my experience, I found it actually very convenient and very it was actually not too different because you're in a video chat and you're with a lot of people. You're not just alone, and the lecturers are there with you, and they can share their screen. So it's like you have the the board in which you can interact with the lecture slides on there, and there's a chat section that everyone can interact and ask questions, and you get the ideas. And the lecturer makes it their priority to engage with every student who asks questions. So like in that environment, it's just that you're not there with them, but they make it seem like it's a normal class and everything is going on as it was a normal class. There is that other fact that you don't need to dress up too much, or like you just have to be there and show. So like that gives you more time to do other things after the class, and like give you more time to just stay at where you were and like try and learn more and try and like rethink what has been taught and stuff like that. And also with the online class, because of I used a lot of softwares that were available on campus that I didn't have on hand with me, and some of my classes needed those softwares. Actually, I was contacted by the university, and those softwares were made. Some of those softwares were made available to me, and it was very interactive. That we had online classes that you could take. You could use those softwares, and that could help you engage in those classes. And it was very nice because it seemed like, I don't know if it was the added fact that people were not face to face, but like there were more people interacting within the online chats than you would face to face. I don't know if it's because maybe when it's real life, certain people might be shy, but like during the online the online sessions, there was a lot of interactions, and it was very, very nice. And there's a lot of online applications and like interactive tools that were adopted into the online classes, and I found that very, 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 very nice. And also, yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah.
No, it's great. And like you say, it's really nice to see students that potentially to see students flourish that wouldn't necessarily get involved, like you say, in the conversations during seminars and lectures, because then they may be a little bit shy. So as crazy as it is, there has been some wonderful positives come from it. You spoke about it a moment ago about the sort of the teaching and how that had changed and adapted. Has your assessment and the way that you were marked, did that change?
Yeah, that changed when it came to like exams. Like examinations changed, but when it came to like the assignments, that was pretty much the same, because your assignment is normally you take it back home and like you work on it and you bring them. But when it came to exams, it was quite different, because you normally with an exam in the real world, like in real life, you just get the papers there and then, and you just have to work on it. But this time, you're given 24 hours to do the exam, and the question is given to you. You have 24 hours to do it, and it's just a different experience. It's like there's no time on you, but at the same time, you feel pressure to doing it and getting it right at the same time. So it's a bit tricky, but it did work in the sense that I did feel like the pressure of an exam. So I did feel that when it came to the assessments. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, a very important thing. So once we're on campus, our academics have like an open door policy. They have surgery hours where you're able to go and visit them and talk about anything that didn't make sense, or you just needed a little bit more explanation. Obviously, that was not available due to everything that was happening. Were you still able to get the support you needed? Were you still able to contact academics? Did you find them that they were still there to help support you?
Yeah, and I'll refer to Tuan, because he was really helpful for me, to me. We know when it came to me needing guidance and interactions, I normally contacted him, because he is he's a leading supervisor to me, and so I normally contact him, and we have video calls and video chats, and sometimes you see him sharing his screen with me, and I share my screen with him as well. That's my laptop screen, yeah, and we have that interactive sessions, and we communicate really well, and I found that very, very useful, and it's really nice and comforting to know that you're not there alone, but the teachers and the lecturers are also there to help you do it, and it gives that added feel that you're still in a learning environment and an educative environment, that help is needed whenever you ask for it, and whenever you no, help is available, sorry, whenever you ask for it and whenever you need it. Yeah. So that was really nice, and that was really comforting. When it comes to other surgery hours during school time, the regular term time, in comparison to this one, I feel like it's pretty much the same, because there's not much difference, because there is that interaction, that face-to-face communication, and whatever is needed to be said is said, and available to you. So I feel like it's pretty much the same. Yeah, that's what I'd say, yeah.
Thank you very much. And one of the things that you mentioned earlier as well was the fact that you've made a lot of friends through this program, and that's one of the great things about doing a master's. Do you still feel like you've been able to collaboratively, so that's how you say you learn best, is working collaboratively with other students? Do you still feel like you have been able to collaborate with students and speak to your fellow students, sorry?
Yeah, actually we have I have a group of students with me that we have a 2-week reading session that we do to communicate. So we have a group call with other students, and we even during the break, we still stay intact and in contact, and we still talk and have video sessions and share ideas and stuff like that. So I can still communicate with them, and it's that experience is still there. As long when school starts and you get to meet friends, it's really advisable. You should try not to stay in your own shell, and just try to reach out, because everyone is willing to know each other. So if you try and reach out, you get to meet people, and you form nice groups, and you get to share your intellectual ideas with them, and it's very good, and it will really help you, because you can bounce information off each other, and you guys can collectively grow together. And I find that very, very nice. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your experience of online learning with us. I'm hoping it's been very useful to students that are watching. So now what we're going to do, we are at the 30-minute mark, but there's still a few questions that I'd like to ask to both you and Tuan. So I'll bring Tuan back. And what we're going to do now is a little bit of a Q&A. So I have some questions prepared that I'll ask either of you. And then if there is any students that would like to ask a question, just drop us a comment and we'll get those answered for you. So Tuan, the first question that I would like to ask you is, and obviously it has been mentioned slightly, will students still have one-to-one contact with academics?
Yes, definitely. So during the year, you'll be assigned with one supervisors that will work with you towards your dissertation. So you can discuss, you can talk to your supervisor about your academic issues. And I will also be your point of contact. So if you have any issues, either professional or personal, you can always contact me via email, and then I will try to help you. I will try to signpost to the people or the institution that can help you to overcome your issues.
Amazing, thank you very much. Now, very important question, and again, we have spoke about it a little bit. Is what will the courses look like in September? Is it going to be all online, or will it be a blended learning approach?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, we are exploring a wide range of options to ensure that your learning experience will not be compromised. Example would be that the teaching session will be a mixture of asynchronous online delivery, synchronous online delivery, and some face-to-face. Uh, and you also receive support from our teaching staff. You also receive support from the library, from the Center for Learning and Study Support. So ensure that like you are not alone in this journey here. Anything that you need, we will be here to help you.
Perfect. It is worth mentioning as well that with the seminars that will be happening on campus, what will happen, our campus at the moment is undergoing a little bit of a transformation. So we're putting hand sanitizer points in, one-way systems are being put in place. And your seminars, what's going to happen is you're probably going to be in a bit of a larger seminar room, and that's just to adhere to social distancing rules. So everything that we're doing at the moment is we're trying to put things in place to make sure that every student feels safe and comfortable when they do eventually come back onto campus. Next question, again for you, Tuan, would be, and again, we have mentioned a little bit about the exam, so I know we're going over things, but how will the assessment be? What will the assessment look like? Will it be any different this year?
Yeah, so the assessment will be different from last year for two reasons. The first reason is the obvious one, which is the effect of the pandemic. So our assessment will have to be moved online to be in line with the government guidance. But the second reason is because of the requirement of the IACSB. We have to ensure that once you graduate, you will equip with the skills that make you more employable. So in the assessment, you will have to assess you on your understanding of the real world problem. We will see if you have some awareness of the social and environmental responsibility of your business. So I think it will be very exciting in the next academic year in terms of assessment.
Thank you. I've only got two more questions. So the first question, Tuan, again is for you. So will students have access to all of the software that they may need and the resources, whether that be library or different programs? Will that be available to them?
Yeah, definitely. So we are still working with our partners to provide the licenses that the student need. For example, for the case of Zenas, he needed the Stata, and we provided the Stata license online that he can use on his computers. And if he needed MATLAB, we also provide MATLAB license. And there are some software that are free online. For example, R is free, so they can download online and they can use it. So definitely, yes. So if you need the licenses, we will provide you licenses that you need.
Amazing, thank you very much. And now this last question is to the both of you. So I'm not sure who wants to go first, and I always think it's quite a nice place to finish our live streams on. So, what advice would you give to students starting in September? So let's go to Tuan first, and we'll finish with Zaina.
Okay, so my advice would be that you need to stay hungry and do not hesitate to reach out for support. So stay hungry means that you need to be a sponge, like you need to absorb everything that you learn from your friends, your classmates, your teaching staff, anything that you can learn from. And the second is about the support that we have here. So do not hesitate to reach out for support, because our teaching staff are always available and willing to work with you on whatever academic issue that you have. And if you have some issues from like your personal life, come to me, email me, I'll be here to support you.
Thank you very much. And Zainab, anything that any advice you'd like to give to postgraduate students?
Yeah, I'll say that you should dare to achieve and dare to dream, because I had this experience when I was doing a module in econometrics. I wasn't sure if I should take it. Everyone told me that it's going to be difficult. It was a selective module, but I tried I dared to do it, and I actually did it really well. So my advice is that don't be afraid. Always start from the beginning. Start investing yourself into your program and your degree, and you would achieve. Like, put the time in, attend your lectures, make sure you do the assessments really well. If you start early, you can do a first draft and do a second draft of in your assessments, in your assignments, and that is key to getting a good grade. Is that time you have when you can go over your assignment and make sure that everything is well checked and everything is done really well. So my advice would be like to try hard, be invested, like invest your time into the program, and you get good results from it. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And that's all we have time for today. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to my lovely panel today. You can find out more information about your DMU future on our website. We'll also put a banner at the bottom so you're able to find the link. Have a lovely rest of the day, and we hope to see you at DMU soon. Thank you very much.